How's it going, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how you can clean a ductless high wall unit without taking it completely apart or having to remove it from the wall. Let's do some work. This video is sponsored by RLS, Original, Patented, Proven, and by Diversitech, helping you simplify your work. All right, so today's project, we've got 5 high wall units that we have to clean. And I don't want to take these things completely apart on every single one and then have to reassemble them to just clean that blower wheel. So I want to be able to clean the whole entire unit, the coil, blower wheel, everything, get it spotless. So what we're going to be using today is this CoilJet, the model CJ125. So this is a battery powered CoilJet. You put the cleaner in here, you put your water in here, so it's fully self-sustainable. You have these different wands to get to hard to reach spots. And you can basically swap out the tips here. You have the different sizes. And then you have the dilution ratio here. So you can, depending on, how concentrated you want the cleaner to be, if you want it to be just water for rinsing, that's how you control everything. So this is pretty handy. On this situation, obviously you could use this for commercial jobs if you don't have water available. You just fill up the water, put your cleaner in here. It's got a shoulder strap to it, and you go to town. So the second piece to your kit, so obviously you got the cleaner that you're gonna need, and we're gonna go with this foaming coil cleaner that goes directly into the CoilJet. But the second item that you need to have is this mini split bib kit 360. So basically what this is going to do is create a scenario where you can wrap this around your high wall, and as you're cleaning it, all the water and any kind of liquid or whatever you're spraying funnels down into this actual bucket, so that way you can clean the whole indoor unit with water and you won't make a mess. It's nice and clean. So but this thing comes with everything that you need. I even have another separate wand in here, the charger for the battery. But yeah, comes with everything you need. So between these 3 items, let's get to cleaning. Now I don't know how much I'm going to use, so I'm just going to go about halfway, maybe a little bit more since we have 5. I can always add more instead of trying to put it back into the gallon. So should be ready to go. We just need to fill this up with water and get our bib installed. I'll go ahead and fill up the water completely. Obviously we'll use it for mixing and then also have to rinse as well. So sweet. Looks like a big old shower cap. All right, so 20 to 1 is 2 turns from 0. This is currently at 0. So 1, 2. All right, so one of the last thing I did is I just sprayed this out when it was still up there to kind of get it nice and clean for the most part. And that leaves us with what's in here. Oh man, much cleaner now. All right, so the process was pretty much the same on all 5 indoor units, so I didn't want to bore you with repeating the process over and over. But basically, in a nutshell, this thing is awesome. I'm going to be using this in a lot of different situations, in commercial applications, obviously ductless like today's video. But in a nutshell, you've got the water tank, so you fill this up with water. And then over here is where you add your cleaner. And then you've got your multiple tips with your dial knob for your dilution ratio. So one thing I didn't really show on this particular video because I didn't really need to in this application is the different wands that you can get. So for instance, this one here has got a 90-degree angle to where, let's say you wanted to clean the back side of that coil and you didn't want to have to reach all the way around, right? It may be kind of difficult or even impossible to do. So anyway, you connect this directly to your gun, and then you can bend this and it holds its shape. So if you need to reach around the coil, you can do that. And then it has a 90-degree where it sprays out this direction. So that's really handy to have. And they have different ones with different tips. This one has one where it just shoots out at the end, more of a wider fan. So depending on what you need, you can get these attachments to help you do your job. So I found that to be pretty handy. It does come with a charger. It does come with a battery. The battery plugs into this back side. It's one of those bigger 12-volt batteries. So it does last a long time. We were able to clean all 5 indoor units and still plenty of charge, no problem. So the charger does plug in right here. That's the power switch, of course. But I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. There's really not a whole lot details that you really need to go into it. Other than how you basically use it. Obviously, once you use it, you want to clean it, right? If you're putting cleaner in here, you want to pour water in there when you're done and run it for a little while and make sure that you rinse the entire machine out completely. That way you have no cleaner left over in there whatsoever, because it might, cause a problem down the road, clogging things up. So, but it's cool that they pretty much thought of everything. They give you all the different tips that you're going to need. Depending on what situation you're running into. It's got a little shoulder strap and everything. So it's pretty nice to have, and I highly recommend grabbing one if you have any ductless units out there that need to be cleaned. If you're a commercial tech and you have maybe some remote sites that don't have any water access, you can just fill that up and go to the job and do what you need to do. So it's pretty nice. Now when it comes to the actual bib kit, so like I mentioned earlier before, this is the mini split bib kit 360. So that gives you 360-degree protection around the unit. Now on this particular job, I decided that I didn't need the top side of it, so I removed that. It just made everything a little bit more easier to use. And if I didn't need the protection, then I just remove it and it's no big deal. So I found out that this works amazing. I was a little apprehensive. I didn't know exactly what I was going to, run into. But after figuring out how those little brackets work and how they kind of friction fit behind the unit, and then you've got those elastic bands that kind of pull it tight and keep everything into place, it worked out well. So I was really pleased. And we just made sure that the bottom elastic was, good and snug, where it went up underneath the unit just a little bit, to where when the water was falling down, it wasn't going behind it and falling down the wall. So, I mean, this was the first time that I've used this setup and it went flawless. I was very pleased, because the last thing you want when you're dealing with water and pressure and cleaner inside someone's home is to not make a mess. So I was happy with it. We were able to do that job in just probably 2 to 3 hours. it would have taken us way longer if we had to completely dismantle and pull out the blowers on those units, because those particular units, they're older style. Normally the set screw on a blower wheel is easily accessible from the front. They have like a little gap in the turning vanes where you can put a screwdriver in there, loosen it, and you can slide it off. On these, that's not how it was. You had to remove the whole housing behind the electrical panel where the motor is, and the set screw is right next to the motor. So it would have taken us way longer to completely disassemble, to pull that blower wheel out, and then just to put it right back in. So anyway, I thought it worked out great. I was very happy with the whole process. Definitely will be keeping this, you know, in the shop to when we have situations like that again, we'll be ready to go. So anyway, I hope you guys got something out of this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And until next time, see you guys later.